Hey guys, so I'm going to read this passage to you. If you don't want the passage read to you, then you can skip right along to the passage where it's not read to you. But I am just I'm gonna read this out loud for anybody that might need that. So, the town square in El Robles is now an island. It is surrounded by floodwaters due to Hurricane Patricia. Maria Santa Vasquez and her husband rest Sunday after wading through the water while trying to return home. At times, the water was chest deep. That means that wading through water is like walking through the water. All around, kids swam and dog paddled. Just before noon, two Army transport trucks arrived as the first outside help since Patricia. Hurricane Patricia is the hemisphere's strongest hurricane on record. It roared in Friday night and washed out the only paved road in town. For the most part, Mexico was relieved that the storm caused no fatalities. That means that nobody died, um, or not. Yeah, like nothing was extremely wrong. There was minimal damage in the resort of Puerto Vallarta and the Pacific coast where Patricia delivered its fury. People were only beginning to assess the full damage Sunday. President Enrique Peña Nieto said Saturday that 3,000 to 3,500 homes were damaged and about 8,650 acres of farmland were damaged. That was before anyone from the government arrived in El Rabals to assess the damage. El Rabals is a town surrounded by banana plantations and where people live to tend to the plantations. Banana trees, as far as the eye could see, were snapped in half. Large bunches of fruit crumbled in the intense sun. The banana plantations are going to lose a whole year, said Santana's husband. This is where people make their living. Then the couple slipped back into the water and waded off. They had already slogged to evacuate from the neighboring town Chilatulan. They assumed their home of 15 years was destroyed. The Chilatulan Valley is less than 6 miles from the Pacific Ocean. Between 1,800 and 2,000 people depend directly on agriculture for a job. Agriculture is like farming. That is not counting their families. People were annoyed that Peña Nieto had downplayed the damage. People felt hopeless. They needed the government's help to try to get their mango and banana plantations producing again in a year's time. Work to build levees to contain the nearby Marabasco River began 3 years ago. However, the levees were not complete. This is total destruction, Ramirez said. He watched soldiers work to make a washed out section of road passable. Agriculture and tourism is the primary source of employment here. The Mexican Navy put out a statement Sunday that it had 5,791 sailors and Marines to help along with the 192 vehicles and 7 aircraft. It would send 3 vessels and 8 mobile kitchens to work to reach those affected by the megastorm. Patricia made landfall as a powerful Category 5 hurricane and peaked at sea with winds up to 200 miles per hour before it came ashore Friday evening with winds of 165 miles per hour. After the wind and rain had subsided, the river entered through a gap. The gap was located behind the banana plantation. This is where Martha Gutierrez and her husband had lived and worked for 9 years. It was 1:20 a.m. The family scrambled to another house with a second story. They hadn't evacuated before the storm because they wanted to care for their animals. In the end, 5 of their 6 pigs drowned. Their house was destroyed. We have nothing to eat, Gutierrez said. In El Rabals, Rosalinda Hernandez Murga stirred a pot of rice soup over a wood fire. Her family and 3 others took shelter in the well-constructed 2-story house before Patricia struck. Its sloped driveway, which leads to an elevated parking area, is now a landing area for boats. All 16 people staying there crowded into a room on the second floor when the storm hit.